Welcome to Intuitive Astrology with Molly McCord. Thank you so much for joining me today as we are going to discuss some of the big themes that will be coming up in February 2026. It is a month of big astrology, perhaps the biggest astrology of the year, all packed together in only 4 short weeks. So I wanted to go through some of the themes that you can expect to work with so that you have time to think it through, prepare, and be ready to energetically integrate more of what February is bringing our way. Now, astrologically, here is the rundown of the biggest transiting aspects of the month. We will start the month with a Leo full moon. Then we will have Uranus stationed direct. Saturn will re-enter Aries. We'll have the Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees. There is an Aquarius solar eclipse, plus Mercury retrograde. So I'll go through more of these particulars on Monday's podcast, but this helps you understand that we're working with a lot in February, and that means it's time for change. It's time to move into the new chapters and new starts that perhaps presented themselves in 2025 for you to consider, be aware of, contemplate, and to dream a new dream, to envision more for your life and consider what you want to manifest next and what is calling to you, especially at a soul level. In February, we have strong fixed sign energy, and that will be showing you what you're ready to break free from, especially if you have been resisting change. And then we also have a focus in the early degrees of Aries, where this is a place that energies are being seeded and initiated for new growth and new creations. This is where your soul is guiding you forward into this new chapter that is going to change your life. And that is one of the themes here of February, is that we're moving into brand new energetic territory that is supporting our soul growth, but requiring more from us as energy masters, awakened individuals, and conscious energy vessels who know that we are in charge of creating the life we want. So in February, here's some of the themes that are going to be experienced because of all of the big astrology of this month. And one thing I want to start with is that this would be a very powerful time to more fully invite in your future self and your multidimensional aspects that maybe have felt like they're out there somewhere, but now is the time to welcome them in, because what we're moving into in terms of the new era of being a human on this planet is that we are designed to embody more of our light and more of our multidimensional gifts. And so the more that you energetically work with this now and you allow yourself to call in these energy systems, these realms, the more you're going to feel tuned in to who you're becoming and how that unfolds for you at a more conscious level. So this would be the first tip here, is to invite in more of your future self, whatever that means for you. You could visualize that as an archetype or a persona. You might just feel it as a certain stream of energy or experience of energies. So this can be quite personal, but this is a beautiful time to initiate in that consciousness that knows whatever you're beginning now is beautifully right on time for you and is a part of your soul growth in this life. That is the first tip. The second tip is that this is where you're going to feel an urge, inspiration, maybe even pushed to take a risk on yourself, to take a risk on something that is growing inside of you as an inspiration, a dream, an intuitive message. This is a time to become more aware of where you want to be that next version of yourself. And of course, that could mean so many things. That could be in regards to your spiritual path, to your personal intuition or your psychic gifts. That could be in regards to a new area of expansion in your profession or your personal life, new place you want to live, next level experiences you want to have, whatever it may be. This energy is propelling us forward And it's requiring us to trust who we are even more, and to know that as you claim more of your true self, the universe shows up to meet you there. And so even though it feels like a risk at first, it's only a risk because you don't know the full plan or pathway. It isn't fully laid out. But this is the case for every new beginning. This is where you are meant to move into more of yourself that's going to become alive and more natural. So this depends on how you approach risk taking, what that feels like for you. But this is part of how that very strong Aries beginning point is asking us to begin powerfully and intentionally. And that can feel like a risk and foreign territory. But I feel that this is so beautifully, divinely timed that there's also some guarantees and some promises here that whatever is calling to you has your name on it. And there's something there on the other side that is going to pay off and be the reward. And so because we have strong energies here in Aries and Aquarius, this is where we're working with these themes of progressive self-development, self-leadership, individuating yourself, and really owning how you are different, how you are special, how you are unique, allowing yourself to advance on your soul path here without being concerned about anyone else or anyone else's opinions, thoughts, input. The peanut gallery is silenced here. You mute out others' opinions or expectations of you, and you're choosing yourself. So this is the third tip, is to look at your willingness to prioritize your energy, your needs, and who you are. And this can be challenging if you have been heavily invested in what people think of you, in how they perceive you, if you have been involved in a lot of people pleasing, or you've wanted to ensure that other people accept and validate you. This is going to be a month that begins a whole new understanding of what it means to choose your own path and prioritize your own needs. For some people, this will be easier than others, but we're moving away from needing others to validate us, recognize us, or acknowledge us in terms of how you want to live your life. When you choose yourself, you're also powerfully calling all of your energy back into yourself, allowing that to strengthen you. And this is a beautiful act of self-love. And when that's your intention, that shifts the energy field as well. It's not about being selfish or self-involved or even shutting others out. This is a time that the universe is saying, prioritize what you need and who you are, strengthen and stabilize yourself there, because that is the beginning point of everything you're going to create and move towards next. So choosing yourself is going to be important here as February comes in and shows you that what you choose is a demonstration of your growth, your power, your light, your gifts, your abilities, and that as you choose yourself, you allow others to do the same. And so in that way, it's a win-win. And that's also important to remember with these energies. Now, the strong fire energy here in Aries, plus the Leo full moon, as well as the spicy Aquarius energy, means that there are some things here that are going to move quickly starting in February. There are new energetics in the collective field that are going to advance us and accelerate us. It could feel like the rhythm of life is changing and time is absolutely moving faster. We are now in some clearer timelines of experiences, and this means that how you move about your day, your week, your month is going to shift and feel different. I know that has already been unfolding for many of you, and that was a big part of last year too. But this year, we're going to sense that more is happening and coming together. I feel it as a cohesion that occurs, almost like things just gel, and there's these new levels of synchronicity that are coming in from multidimensional realms, and things just all of a sudden are created. They just all of a sudden appear and develop. And you could think, wow, that was really easy. And then you could doubt it and say that was too easy. And then that's where people can start to push against the universe or make something harder than it needs to be because you weren't expecting something to be so simple and graceful. But this is what the energies are like in the higher realms. There's a fluidity that occurs. There's a smoothness and a harmony that's just natural and effortless. And that is a part of how we're going to keep experiencing the energies of this year, where you might be wildly surprised at what comes together, at what you thought was lost, stalled, delayed, forgotten. The universe never forgot. The universe never forgot. The universe has been holding things for you until the timing was right. And we never know when that is, right? At least not exactly. But divine timing is connected to all of these energetics, and you might be surprised at what comes through for you. And it's not only exactly what you want and what you need, you just got an upgrade to first class, or you just got something even bigger and more expanded, or you just received something even better, the perfect job that you didn't even know existed because it hadn't been created yet. And the universe was making it behind the scenes, and all of a sudden you're in the conversation with the person who has access to that position, and you get it with minimal effort and maximum pay. I mean, these are the energies that we are meant to experience. And, let's be real. The human experience is hard. We all know that. We all have the hardships, the burdens, the challenges, stress, anxiety, worry. We all know that all too well. But part of what we have to do in this advancing cycle is move into a new state of what's normal, of what's natural. And the truth is, it's natural for there to be more harmony, flow, abundance, expansion, ease, and grace. It's natural for us to live on a day-to-day basis, experiencing more peace, more calm, more things that make us smile and that bring us joy. And that's part of moving into not only the new earth values, but to regularly be residing in those frequencies in that timeline. And so if you feel a shift, or you've been feeling that shift, and for some reason life has gotten easier and better, and you're feeling more peaceful and calmer, even amongst all of the chaos and turmoil and extremes that are very active and very real on the planet. But if you're not feeling that, if you are feeling more aligned with these higher frequencies, you're going to find that more things show up to support you right there. And I believe that's something that's going to be ushered in even more powerfully starting in February, and then becoming our new normal state of experiences. The universe hasn't forgotten your wishes, your dreams, your desires, that vision board from even 2 years ago. The universe has not forgotten. Keep in mind that 2025 was meant to be a rocky road to clear out unresolved karma, close out spiritual lessons, complete things at a deep core level. And as I say that, I'm getting the visual of panning for gold, where you have to dig in to the dense earth, scoop up rocks and ore, and then you put it into one of those shaker tables. I don't know what it's called, but you put the rocks in there and it shakes out and shakes off all the sediment, anything that isn't gold, essentially. I'm not explaining it well, but I hope you can visualize what this is, because we had to get rid of a lot. We had to move it out of our own vessels and energy systems. We had to elevate our own frequencies, and that was required in order to ascend in this next cycle. But after that's done and you get to the other side, you feel that renewal and a sense of being that shiny piece of gold. And that's part of what February is also introducing us to by allowing us to move into a whole new timeline of experiences that basically weren't available previously. We just weren't ready. And so we had to work through things. And now, as February begins, there's going to be new directions, new dreams, new downloads of things you never even considered. And now you might find this is what has your name on it. This is what inspires you. This is where you're feeling an intuitive pull to create something brand new in your life that is divinely timed and beautifully supported. supported. And so because of this, there are going to be perhaps some startling life changes that February introduced you to. I'm actually seeing it as combustion points. I'm seeing that some people are going to combust and that they're going to have some very erratic energies that simply reveal where there is energy that's out of alignment and change is now necessary. These combustion points can be inspiring, meaning you realized I've reached the end of this. I'm done with this. I'm not going any further. Friday's my last day, or I'm complete with this, whatever this might be, and you realize you turn a corner really quickly. So there can be positive developments from these combustion points. On the other hand, there can also be a lot of volatility, aggression, outlandish behavior, backlash, more extremes that are really unexpected because of how the universe is saying it's time for a change, but there can be resistance, avoidance, or a misalignment between one's free will and divine will. And so there are people who are going to have these breakdowns because they aren't ready for the changes that are required of them and signal where things are shifting. So keep in mind that there's going to be more erratic energies. They can be very rebellious, which can be a good thing, but this is going to show us where people are at and how they're processing these bigger life changes and global changes that are unfolding. So the anger, frustration, impatience, all of that can roar to life as well during February and could be something that we see more of. And in fact, it reminds me of something I remember hearing when my son was in preschool. It's that all behavior is communicating something. All behavior is communication. So we can look at, okay, what is this communicating? Even if it's not through words, what is being communicated through this behavior? And that can certainly help tune into what the real message is. And then the seventh thing to be aware of as February unfolds and this powerful astrology comes through is that we're going to be feeling physical changes in our bodies. And the way I'm seeing this is quite interesting. I'm seeing that we are going to be receiving these new energies, especially through Aries and Aquarius, that is going to be affecting our light bodies. And I'm seeing this as incoming streams of frequencies that are connecting with not only our full energy vessel, all of our body, but I'm seeing it go specifically into our fascia. And our fascia being a beautiful web of energy and grid work. I'm seeing the incoming streams of light embed into our fascia to help us hold and contain more light and to fortify our energy bodies with these lighter frequencies. Now, when I feel into that, it feels very gentle, calming, and warm. It feels very settling, and that it really helps the nervous system relax and integrate more of these energies. So trust what that feels like for you, of course, but I'm just feeling it as a gentle, warm embrace that allows us to receive these new energies and to feel safe in doing so, because the human psyche needs safety as part of our basic survival needs. And we need to feel that it's okay to evolve. It's okay to change and shift. It's okay to be going through this wild ride of energies and to know that my body can handle it. I'm safe. I'm protected. I can be calm and gentle with these changes. And that also gives us more to trust in ourselves and trust in the process. So February is a big month in our calendar year. And as I said, I'll be back on Monday to discuss more of the astrology that is unfolding throughout the month. But I hope this gives you some good insights into what to expect, as well as to be ready for the new, where to say yes, where to trust yourself even more, where your intuition is guiding you forward and calling you into a new endeavor. I mean, this just feels really exciting to me. I hope it does to you too, but it feels like we're at this beginning point that we've been waiting for, and divine timing is right here. It's ready to support and to deliver exactly what you need for next steps. And so it will be important to calm the mind, notice any fears or stress points that present themselves, and also remember that this is happening in the collective. This is ultimately energies working with everyone. Even though we are all in our own subjective experience of it, this is part of the upgrade of humanity right now. This is part of what we are moving into and moving towards, and that you are here for a purpose. You are here to continue to live a good, solid life, to have things that bring you joy, that lift you up, that make you happy. And whatever you've been through, whatever you've experienced on your ascension path, this is a new beginning that I feel is going to bring about more that you've wished for or dreamed for. Because again, the universe never forgot. The universe doesn't reside in time and space. The universe is always working its miracles. So I just want to be very encouraging about the new chapters that we're moving towards, because I think that's essential at this time. And I know many of you are masters. You are energy leaders. You are soul group leaders. You have done this work on other planets. You have done this work for your soul group. And what's interesting is that you might feel like you are being set free from those responsibilities and obligations to others. You might see that you are leveling up and you're entering into the next phase of your own soul growth chapter. And it means that, yes, you're meant to choose yourself. You're meant to move forward and move on, and to know that everyone else is being taken care of. Everyone is on their own path, and you don't have to feel responsible for that. Interesting that I'm saying this, because I feel that a lot of empaths, light workers, and starseeds hold too much responsibility. You have such a desire to be of service, to give, to help, that you have served that purpose so beautifully. And now you're meant to continue on, to move on to the next phase, whatever that looks like for you. And to know that it's okay to leave people where they're at, or to let go of something, even if you think I should do more, I could do more. A part of me wants to do more. And of course, trust that for yourself, but also trust, does the energy continue to rise or does it sink? Does the bottom drop out? And it's like, oh, that's a great idea. And then when it comes to actually doing something and taking action, you're like, I've got nothing. I have no energy for that. So that could be part of the transition you feel, is that what you once put energy into is no longer a part of your calling. A lot of people are meant to move forward and move on. You're meant to move up to that next rung of the ladder that's best for you. You are not leaving anyone behind. You are not doing anything wrong. You are not incomplete. Rather, it's the opposite. You are meant to now enter into a new chapter in your life that's divinely timed for your fulfillment, your satisfaction, your joy, and your needs. And it's a beautiful gift to yourself to honor that. So I say that because, again, I know many of you, you are so giving and you just want to do so much for so many people, but that era is ending. That phase is completing, where now everyone is going to be more responsible for themselves than ever before. Everyone has to tie their own shoes. Everyone is now responsible for how they use their energy for their own healing path. And they always have been. But I'm just seeing that there's going to be a lot, like a big group, millions of people moving on. And for those who have relied upon your energy for their own livelihood, survival, or needs, they're going to feel a void, as they should, because in the void, they meet themselves. They understand more of who they are. They're entering into their next chapter of knowing who they are and what's available to them next. So again, this can be a win-win. And so if you're able to see it that way, it's going to make it easier for you to make the choices that are best for you, as others do the same. And it will be important to not be invested in other people's choices, at least not at a personal level. Now, I realize that's going to look differently for certain circumstances. If you live with somebody, or you're taking care of somebody, or if you're responsible for somebody, obviously that's a different dynamic where you are invested in their choices, as you should be. But I'm saying this for other connections and relationships where you are each autonomous individuals, and you can see that there are choices or directions someone needs to take that has nothing to do with you. and is not about what you need from them or what you expect of them. And so this is a dynamic that's going to go both ways, where people are going to need to make choices and decisions that maybe are difficult for you to accept at times, but on the other side of the coin, you could find that you're doing the same. So that's going to be a part of this environment of everyone's going to be making choices that are for their best and highest good. And if we can see it from that vantage point, if we can remember that every single person is on their own soul growth journey, it helps you detach and see it through a lens that allows everyone to prosper and grow as needed. Okay, I guess I had to add that in here before signing off today. But wishing you a beautiful weekend ahead or beautiful day ahead whenever you listen to this. And I'll be back on Monday, January 26th, when Neptune is in Aries, and we will discuss the major astrology of February 2026, go into more of the specifics of the degree points, and help you track more of what's coming up for you as we move through that month. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your time, energy, and attention. Appreciate you, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Take good care, and I'll see you next week.